Hey, yo, E, send me that.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Precious Johnson with the We Inform Show. I also own We Inform Consulting, and we are talking about all things business, money, and investing. So today I have the pleasure to be with the king himself, the professor, Anyae. Let him know about you. So, like I said, I'm here with Anyae. He's a king, he's a professor, he knows everything about trading, and that's what we're talking about today. So, just a little bit about you. Let the people know how you started in trading and what got you to doing what you're doing now.
First off, I'd like to thank you for having me out, Precious. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As you said, my name is Professor Anyae from MTM University. Definitely go check us out, guys. We talk about my journey with trading. This starts like back in the day when I used to work for the government. I had a coworker of mine that was a trader. He used to always come to work talking about stocks, talking about stocks, talking about stocks. Me and my coworkers, we were very interested, but it was just such a confusing thing. By the least, I knew that it was about making money, but we just didn't know how this whole thing worked. So throughout the years, I was just learning a little bit here and there, just like a lot of us. Like for those of us who are on the Robinhood apps or the TD Ameritrade, look, we know that there are companies out there, and that we can invest in these companies that we can make a little bit of money from time to time. But it's like we don't really know the complete science of this thing called trading. Ironically, back in was it 2020, unfortunately, what I like to say, fortunately, um, I fell medically ill while working for the government. Terrible situation where it forced me to stop working at the time. And for those of you who know me personally, look, I have a big family at home. So supporting a big family off of just my paycheck, it was a lot on my back. And mentally, things were just really heavy at that time. If you could think about 2020, that was around the time of the pandemic, and there was a lot of madness going on. I fell sick around that time, which was crazy because I had no clue of what was going on with me at the time. I was going to a bunch of different doctors, didn't know if it was a benefactor of COVID or what it was. Right. Going to this doctor, going to this doctor, going to that doctor. And none of these doctors could tell me what was wrong with me or what was going on with me at the time, which actually had me in even more fear because I'm like, hold up, something ain't right with me. Right. What is going on?
A lot of people in this situation.
Right. So it was so bad that I couldn't go back to work. Couldn't go back to work at the time. So I'm like, hold up, I got a family to feed. They're depending on me, and I can't go to work. What am I gonna do? So now we're rolling around the time of early 2021. So it literally got to the time frame where I said, you know what? I'm not gonna be able to go back to work. And I just had to face that. And I had to have some deep conversations with God on direction, to give me some direction in life. And I always tell people, especially my students at ntm.u, that sometimes in life, God just calls out for you. And that was that moment for me. I didn't know that it was that until I was in that moment. I was literally at my lowest of my lows because, for a lot of men out there, we feel like our worth is what we can provide. So if we can't provide, that has a heavy weight on one. Right. So I was like, you know what? Okay, I can't go back to work. What am I going to do? I was at my lowest of low, dealing with depression, dealing with stress, and to be honest with the audience, even thoughts of suicide at the time, to just keep it 100 with you. So I did the only thing that I knew to do, which was to go to God at the time. So I had a couple of conversations with God, and God started speaking to me, basically saying that it was going to be okay and that I just need to just move forward and listen to Him. And as the time started to go by, I started to, really think like, okay, how am I going to be able to feed my family? One night I was on, if you guys can remember the popular app Clubhouse. I was on Clubhouse one night, and I was in a room about finance, and I heard a message from a brother about trading. I hit him up, got some information on it, and I joined this online academy, which turned out to be an MLM. For you guys who know about it or know about MLMs, you don't want to really get involved with MLMs that are connected to trading. And I have a lot of content about that on YouTube that goes into such. But long story short, the academy, which a lot of you guys were connected to at the time, they really weren't providing the necessary trading education that I needed. So my mindset was also saying, you know what, how real is this trading thing? You know, is this going to be for me? Can this help me to provide for my family? So like a lot of you guys have, I had a checklist at the time to make sure that trading checked off all these things on that checklist to see if I should keep moving forward with it or if I should just bounce to something else. And literally everything on that checklist was checking off. It was checking off. It was checking off. It was checking off. It was checking off. Everything except for the people that I was learning from. So I got to the point where I said, you know what? I got the time, I got the mind, and I got the dedication to keep dedicating myself to mastering this thing. Within the company that I was originally in, I had brought a lot of people in to learn, but they weren't getting what they needed from the trading education. So I felt the responsibility for them and the money that they paid to deliver on what they came for. So each day, every day, morning, noon, and night, up late every day until 6, 7 a.m. every day. I'm trying to figure out and master this thing called trading, not only for myself, but also for these people that I brought into trading. So that's basically what got me on this path and ultimately started MTM University. You know, I could have been one of those people that complained about the academy that we were a part of, but I said to myself, you know what? They're missing certain aspects that the people need. So you know what? Let me find a way to provide specifically, you know, what the people need to be able to get from point A to point Z on this journey called trading.
Awesome, awesome. So I noticed that you mentioned the trials and tribulations that you went through in the MLO group that you started with. And that's the challenge for most people that I understand, and especially in the world now where, where everything is online. You get all your information online. So when you start connecting with different people, the challenge is, well, I don't want to be a part of a what they call a pyramid scheme, or or
Right.
just being connected to people that they can't fully like touch.
Right.
So now you got to go do your research, or you got to base your opinion off somebody else's instead of just like you said, trusting in God and letting Him lead you to the right people, the right situations, and knowing that where you are, it's gonna maximize for your situation. And you just got to follow through with it and be comfortable with the everyday ups and downs. And that's the challenge. Also, people don't like the ups and downs of life.
Right.
So when it becomes difficult, they want to bail. When it's not working, they want to bail and they want to say it's a scam.
Right.
So I know maybe you can answer it later. Maybe we can answer it later. But if you want to touch on, have you ever run across people saying anything like that to you? Like,
Definitely. That's definitely big in this industry. You know, is it a scam? How real is it? And I was one of those ones that was very skeptic of it all. Like I say, that list of questioning I had, you know, I was like, hold on. Like, and I think everybody should have a checklist on, you know, how experienced is the person that's teaching me. You know, like does this person live trading or are they a trader, a real estate investor, this and that and this?
right.
Look, trading is a very complex field, so you want somebody that focuses their life on trading. And that ties right back into this whole MLM thing. You know, MLMs, the foundation, the basis of MLMs is recruiting, which I'm not mad at that. If that's your thing, that's your thing. But trading is so hard and it's so complex that I'm here to tell you, you cannot master trading and be a top recruiter for an MLM at the same time. And that was one of the things that I learned at my time back in 2021. You know, when I would have deeper conversations about with some of the top recruiters, which I was a top recruiter as well, and they would tell me their backstory. I assumed that these people knew how to trade. They would pose to us like they knew how to trade. And it wasn't until I had deeper conversations with them that I learned that they were just great recruiters. They just made it look like they knew how to trade, to be able to suck people into the whole MLM. So this is why you guys will see through a lot of my content on YouTube and whatever social media platform you're on that I'm I'm definitely against joining an MLM if you're really trying to master trading and you want to become self-sustained with your trading, because it's just one of those complex things where you can't master both at the same time. Becoming an MLM recruiter, a top recruiter, is very complex. It's very hard. Same thing with trading. Pick one. It's got to be one or the other, but not both.
Right, right. So you mentioned earlier, like you was doing something completely different from trading. So you don't know anything about trading. You have no idea. Nobody ever told you about it, but you went and researched it, and you got connected, and you invested in yourself
Right,
to
right.
to have a better future. So, and that's what I like about WeInform. That's the goal here. I want to make sure, you know, it's about investing in yourself to become a better you later in life.
Yes,
Right.
yes, yes.
So prior to this, like, what was your concept or your thoughts about or upbringing about money?
Oh, oh man, great question. Whew. So when we think about money, specifically in the Black community, but my household, coming up, all I ever heard was save, save, save. But I saw a lot of spending, 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 spending. And I never heard too much of any at all of investing, 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 or making your money work for you at all. So, just seeing the situation that type of behavior will put my parents in, which, not knocking our parents.
Hmm.
We love our parents. Our parents only knew what they knew.
Hmm.
We can't knock them, but it's for us to take it to the next level. I said, hold up, this is not it right here. This is not it right here. I had lightly, throughout the years started hearing the concept of making your money work for you, but I didn't know what that looked like until I got into trading and understood the dynamics and the science of trading. I was like, hold up, this is the actual definition of making your money work for you, making money on top of your money, multiplying your money in the market. And just kind of, winging back to MTM.U, this is why one of the first things we do is teach our students the psychology of money. Because
Okay.
if you don't even understand money, this whole trading thing is not going to work. I see a lot of platforms and people throwing people into the market out here, and they don't even understand the science of money.
Hmm.
We tell our students that your money, think about your money like your soldiers, that are about to go to war for you. You're sending them out with a strategy, with a mission to be able to maximize a certain thing. We want this army to double. We want it to triple, and we want to win the financial war. But there needs to be a strategy. So first, there has to be some type of psychology to understand, hold up, what does this army look like? What is this war we getting into? How do we attack this for victory and for success? And trading is one of those fields, once you master it, to be able to get to wealth building.
I like that. I like that. I do. I mean, it's from what I'm hearing, it's about changing the way you think. Changing and transitioning that thought, that mindset from consumer to either the lender or the investor. Just that's like you said, it's a problem in the Black community because we didn't have that background.
Right, right,
We
right.
didn't a lot of us didn't grow up understanding or even knowing. So we watched the mistakes and the things that our parents did, and they didn't have it. Everybody don't have it together. It's not something we're taught in school. So I appreciate you bringing up that because, again, that's the goal of We Inform, changing how you think about money. Just because we have holidays don't mean you need to spend 1,000 or your whole paycheck,
Right,
your whole
right.
paycheck on something that's gonna be useless later. We need to start focusing on getting assets, learning how to be more um, independent
Right,
of
right,
our
right.
jobs and just manage. Becoming how do I want to put it? How do I want to put it?
Okay, you got it. Mhm.
Just becoming more independent from our jobs and not depending on the government.
Yes, yes, and that see, that's you talking empowerment right there. They don't like to hear that, when you start to build up that FU money, because it's like, hold up,
There you
I'm
go.
not fully dependent only on this paycheck, but I'm making money over here, and also teaching our children the same thing so that, they don't fall into the same cycle that we fell in, that we're having to dig ourselves out of. So this is why it's so key to find these spaces like We Inform, like MTM.University, where there's a mastermind of people figuring out and putting together the pieces of this whole money puzzle, because it's a puzzle.
Right.
It's a game. And I tell my students it's a fun game that we're figuring out together and that we can master, but on our own, by ourselves, it's impossible to defeat this game, and they know that. So there's a power in togetherness.
Right. And you can't be afraid to make mistakes.
Right.
Mistakes is what helps you to learn what not to do. And I think that's another thing. People don't want to feel like they've made a mistake or it's detrimental to what they got going on, so they give up. But let's transition. I want to really dive into trading itself.
Okay.
What are the different aspects of trading, like different categories, niches? Like, can you touch on that?
Okay, so for example, you have scalping, you have day trading, you have swing trading.
You already started. I don't even know what scalping is.
So scalping, for example, scalping would be the closest form of trading that's closest to what we do here at MTM.U. We deal with traditional forex trading, which is traditional foreign exchange trading. That's trading on the foreign exchange market. That's trading one currency versus another, and other different assets. But we also trade what's called binary options here at MTM.University, or it can also be labeled as price action trading or market structure trading in the market.
Okay. So you said binary?
Yes, binary options. So binary options, it's hyper. It's really, really fast. Price is moving very fast. It's very micro. We're putting a microscope on price to be able to see certain vulnerabilities from within price action and from within the market to find an opportunity and to make money off of such.
Okay, so now are these me being just very very juvenile in the subject,
Right.
So I know the basics. I'm assuming I know the basics. Long term, is there a difference between is there long term and short term, or is it just straight long term?
Okay, so what I deal with is straight short term. So the typical question that I get from people is, how long are you in and out of the market? So on an average day, all right, so let me give you my typical day. So I just check the market from time to time. I'll go in, I'll turn on my broker, and I'll see, hey, is the market giving? Am I seeing an opportunity in the market? I'll check different assets. I may check some commodities. I may check some stocks. I may check some currency pairs on the live market and what we also call the OTC market. For those of you who are confused, don't be confused.
I got a bunch of questions.
Look. We got a bunch of content over at over on our YouTube page at MTM.University that kind of explains the difference between the live market and the OTC market. It's a lot, but we got you. So through those different asset classes, I'll search through to see if I can find some opportunities through market structure or through price action. If I don't see any opportunities, I just close my broker and I go back to life or whatnot. And I'll come back and check at a time or two throughout the day. So on an average day, I may be in and out of the market in totality for like maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours. So it's nothing to where I'm just like sitting on the computer all day long. That's what a lot of people assume, that, traders, that every type of trader just sits on the broker and in front of a computer for hours on hours on hours on hours on hours. Not my traders. No, we're in and we're out of the market. It's very short. And the trades that we take on average can be between 50 seconds to 2 minutes. So our trades are very short. The percentages that we make, it takes us literally no time. This is Professor Anyae of MTM.University. I am a full-time trader and the founder of MTM.University, where I and my group of mentors help to coach up and train traders just like you to build income through trading in the market. But today, I want to tell you guys why I support the We Inform show and the services behind it. Every week, We Inform delivers powerful financial conversations that help people to rethink money, debt, and opportunity. But they don't stop there. Through their budgeting program, families are learning how to cut years off of debt and save thousands in interest. Their business funding solutions connect entrepreneurs with the right lenders so that they can grow with confidence. And their real estate investment funding gives investors the capital to move quickly and close strong. That's why I stand behind We Inform, because they're helping the people and businesses take real control over their finances. So make sure you tune in every week to the We Inform show, where knowledge meets action and financial freedom is the goal.
Hey, this is your informant Precious of the We Inform show. I'm here to bring you impactful information that will help you succeed in your endeavors. Follow me on Instagram at Miss Precious AJO to get a heads up on topics I'll be discussing, and also follow us on YouTube at We Inform Consulting to listen to shows that you may have missed or you want to hear again. Thank you for tuning in every Friday morning at 7:30 a.m. to get informed, and be sure to share this station with your friends and family so they can be informed too. We Inform Show, it can be heard on TuneIn, Apple Music, Streamer, YouTube, and more. Just search WDRB Media. All right, just a reminder, we're back with Anyae, the professor, the king in trading. Everything you need to know, he's going to tell us. So, so tell me, what's the most difficult part about trading?
I would have to say that would be mindset. Why? Because we come from the regular world mentality of how we have been taught. And a lot of that will have a trader, especially a new trader, to crash and burn in the world of trading. We just come from a lot of different bad habits and personality traits that just don't work well from within the market. So this is why we're big at MTM.U on reforming the mind from the regular world mentality into a trader's mentality. Because again, a lot of those attributes will have you to crash and burn. For example, greed. A lot of people come from a greedy mentality and they don't even know that they're dealing with greed until they get into the market. So we like to show traders that hold up. There's a calculated fashion in which you need to be operating. We need to come away from that greed. If it is greed, we need to identify that greed and we need to come away from that greed, because you can crash and burn. From time to time, I've seen traders, not under the banner of MTM.U, but before MTM.U, to where that greed would have them blowing accounts and doing a lot of uncharacteristic things. We don't want that. So we want to be able to weed out. We want to be able to identify that greed, and we want to be able to weed that out. Because not only can that help you to be a better trader and get you to master trading, but that can also help you to be a better human being, to get that greed out of your life. Mm-hmm. Another thing, impatience. A lot of people suffer from impatience, and they don't even know that they suffer from impatience until they get into this market. If you're an impatient trader, you will crash and burn. And it's the same thing in life. We need these higher levels of patience to become better human beings in life. Mm-hmm. But if you want to get to this mastery trading into great profits, you have to exhibit a high level of patience. So mindset, I would definitely say mindset is key. Mindset is definitely key. And with, developing that mindset and reforming that mindset, being able to see the veteran traders, or even myself, mm-hmm. from within our trading community at MTM.U, that's another way that helps traders to reform the mind, because you're seeing how our minds operate. You're seeing the things that we're saying. You're seeing the things that we're doing in the market. Right. So naturally, it's going to reform the mind into a master trader. Okay. So you said a greedy mentality. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking you coming out the market too late, and that's where you're talking about crashing and burning. Is that what you're saying? Let me tell you, Precious, it's been days in my earlier stages where I didn't understand the greed factor. I didn't understand what we call risk management. Mm-hmm. And I'll just be honest, I'll be frank with you guys. Like, I would go up like $1,500 in the market, and I'm on a high. I'm saying, oh my goodness, I'm hitting, I'm clicking. Oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. Let me just keep going for more. What I didn't realize was that is the casino mentality. That's the gambler's mentality. I was just about to say that, considering that I'm a craps, I like craps. But yeah. Right. As traders, we like to establish what we call here at MTM.U a trader's calm. Mm-hmm. A trader's calm and strategy to understand, hold up, what is the specific range that I'm going for today? Okay, today I'm looking to grow my account, for example, in between at minimum 1.2% to 3% for the day.
Mm.
And hey, if I get in that range, I'm done. I'm done. We're not using words like, oh, I'm hot, I'm hot. It's not the casino.
Right.
It's not craps. We're looking for that range. If we get from within that range, we're gonna stop for the day.
Right.
But I wasn't taught that in the beginning. So my mentality was, oh man, I've made 11, 12, 1500. I'm hot. Let me just keep going. Now what we're doing is we're playing into the broker. That's how the broker wants you to operate because you haven't been taught mindset and risk management and a specific range to meet and a trader's common discipline. So they understand human characteristics, human tendencies, and they know that when you feel like you hot, what are you gonna do?
Right.
You're gonna keep going.
Right.
So a lot of those times in those instances where I may have made 1,200 in the market, 1,500, at the end of the day, I ended up in a negative $800.
Yeah.
So think about how that can make a trader feel, from an emotional standpoint, from a mental standpoint of, man, I was really up 1,500 in the market, but I was never told to stop. I was never told what was my stop limit. So I just kept going because my mentality was like, if I got this much, I can get so much more. And the broker's saying, yeah, come on. Keep
Right,
coming.
because they make money from you getting the okay.
Exactly. So having that discipline, having that mindset, having a target range, and having that mentorship to stay on you about such is key on the journey to mastery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in this field, I see that you definitely need that patience. Especially, I mean, I know you don't deal in the realm of long term, but I see it. Long term is all about staying in it and not coming out when markets and just following trends. So you
Definitely.
get that. Makes sense. So now on the other aspects, since we're talking about the difficult things, what's easy? What makes it easy about being in trading?
What makes it easy?
And is that a thing?
Well, a lot of companies out here like to tell you that it's easy to just take what we call signals or copy trading. And that is what people would call a scam or a farce, shall we say. Because the trading journey is just like life. It's a marathon. It's complex, and you're gonna have to go through it. So yes, many people come to me and others and say, hey, you know, can you just take trades and I just copy your trades? So you just send me the trades that you do? And to them in their mind, that is the easy route. But did you actually learn how to trade? Will you actually learn how to master trading that way? No. And it would be wrong of me to lead people down that road. My parents didn't raise me that way. I'm going to tell you like it is and what you need to know. And that's going on the long route. Your route won't be as long as my route because I figured it all out through something called University to make it easier for you. But that route never produces master traders. I knew plenty of people that did the signal trading and the copy trading for the other company that I was around in the first year, and none of those people are still trading. All of those people have lost confidence in trading because they took the quote unquote what they thought was the easy route or the cheap route, and they crashed and burned, and they never learned how to master the skill set. I always tell people, I genuinely want or I need people to master the skill set because this is something where you can become self-sustained from. At some point in time, you won't even need me. You won't even need University. I want to know that if I die, God forbid, tomorrow, these traders that I've trained know how to trade without me. But if you've been relying on copy trading all your life, what happens when that trader is not around anymore? If he's in the hospital, then you can't make your money. So the reality becomes we just have to go on a marathon in life.
Right. But that brings me to the next question I want to ask, and it's actually from a gentleman of mine that actually sent me a question off of Instagram. His name's Skrilla Text. But I want to get into a little context about it because I know we're in the day and age where AI is doing everything for us.
Right.
And that goes into, being on the marathon, actually learning how to do this skill because who knows what's going to happen to the internet. And if this is your lifeline, but you now relying on AI to do everything from you, are you not making money for how the whole time AI is down,
Right.
you know? So the question he had was, in this new world of AI, how do you find building wealth in trading for a long term, on a long term scale? How can you use AI to build wealth? And what's your thoughts on that?
Right. So, hey, we talk about the AI revolution all the time here at MTM University, specifically within our social medias, and how it's taking away a lot of jobs or whatnot. So we definitely have to be mindful of that. But in the field of trading, we have seen what we call trading bots, and we have seen AI trading. I would tell people, and this is just a life virtue, learn to trust yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Just do the work. I get it. We all want the easiest route possible. This is your hard-earned money.
Mm-hmm.
For example, when I used to work for the government, we had what's like a 401k or a TSP, which I
Yep.
basically found out is like, these are accounts that firms or other people are handling.
Mm-hmm.
Why not learn to do that yourself
Right.
if you can? And I know most people can. They just haven't been given the the roadmap to be able to do such. How convenient is it to be on your break at work and just say, you know what, I'm just gonna hop in the market.
Mm-hmm.
And if I, see some opportunities, I'm going to take some opportunities and I'm going to make an extra $500, $600 because I know what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
We teach our students that it's just like a game. It's just like a game. So when we go back to AI and a lot of the AI trading and the bot trading, you got to understand that these are companies that are making money off of you. And they're not winning every trade. They're not winning most trades like that.
Right.
The same way that you can take a what people would call a loss on the trade or what we call a lesson on the trade, the AI bot is taking lessons on the trade as well too.
Got you.
The or what we call the bot trading from within the industry, they're
Mm-hmm.
going to take lessons as well. And those bot accounts and those AI accounts have been known to blow accounts as well. And
Mm-hmm.
also, I want traders to be aware of, again, with trying to run and take the easy route. Um, the brokers have to protect their own interests.
Right.
So they have technology in place to be able to identify, bot trading or AI trading a lot of time. And so those people who are connecting bot trading or AI trading to their accounts, a lot of their accounts are getting flagged and getting shut down, and a lot of these people are losing money. So again, in this marathon, you have to just go on the marathon. So again, even to the latter question that you asked about the easier way to do things, here at MTM.U, we make it easier by just watching the veterans each and every day and
Mm-hmm.
asking questions and being a part of a community where you're supported throughout the day. You're not left alone. You're going into this war with an army each and every day.
Mm-hmm.
That is much easier than going into a war by yourself each and every day, just from a couple of YouTube videos and trying to just figure it out on your own and being fed to the broker.
Right. Right. So I mean, I agree with you saying. I mean, my thoughts on it as far as using AI in trading. Of course, I'm a novice at it. So, but just listening to you today, I appreciate the fact that your goal is education, education, education. And I understand that AI helps out a lot and it does a lot of work for you, but it also dumbs down our ability to think for ourselves
Right.
and come up with new ideas and everything. So it will be able to tell us what's happening in the market from my understanding, from my thoughts on it. It'll allow us to tell us what's happening in the marketing, what the company is projected to do based off the information it's getting. But that's just based off the information that it's getting. You
Right.
have no idea. It can't tell you the future. So it's all projections. And
Exactly.
even in real estate investing, I mean, you can't go off of projected. You have to go off of what it's actually doing because you never know what that future will entail.
Right.
So if you wanna rely on it, it may work, it may not. But then you also run the risk of losing it because AI may go down.
Right. And I always tell people, it's nothing like you just can't beat that human interaction, that
Right.
human connection.
Mm-hmm.
Shouts out to ChatGPT and all the information that it provides, but it's nothing like that old-fashioned human interaction each and every day. From within our community, We don't just talk about trading. We're always connecting the things that we're going through in life to trading.
Mm-hmm.
And we're there as a support system. So, as the name of the company, more than money. It's not just about the money. It's not just about the trading, but it's about the people. It's about the connections.
Mm-hmm.
It's about supporting one another through much more than just the trading journey.
Okay. And I was going to ask you, what does MTM stand for? But it's more than money.
Yes.
.u. Okay.
Yes.
More than money. University.
So I got that name because going through this journey in the early stages, I thought it was just about the trading. I really thought it was just about the money.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to see the impact that this journey was having on my dedicated traders.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me say that this is about much more than just money.
Right.
This is personal development. This is mental development.
Mm-hmm.
This is spiritual even. I tell people that trading is spiritual. The money is just an additive. It's a beautiful thing. Mastering trading is a beautiful thing as well. But it's the everyday testimonies that I get from my traders and people that have went through this journey that really make it worth it. And they see at that point that, hold up, this is about much more than just the money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm getting the money now, but like, I love what this journey turned me into. People that I know, or your wife, your husband, or whatever. We get testimonies of people's spouses telling them, how they've improved as human beings, as spouses, or whatever. So it's much more than just the money.
Okay. I like that. I like that. So would you say there is a specific dollar? Well, how about we transition and say, what is a dollar amount a person should start coming into the market and start trading? Is there a dollar amount? Is there a minimum, or what you think?
Great question. Great question. So I get that question a lot. What I would say is to focus on. So now we're talking about investing.
Mm-hmm.
I would focus on investing in the proper education community and resources first. So that looks like University versus just jumping in the market with your money and relinquishing that money to the market. I've seen so many traders jump into the market without us and come back to us and tell us, hey, I've lost, so I've relinquished 8,000 to the market, 10,000 to the market,
Wow.
12,000 to the market, 20,000 to the market. And I'm like, oh man, I really wish you would have joined us because then you wouldn't have lost that money to the market. And that
Right.
same capital, you could have been compounding that money over a period of time in the market. So we
Mm-hmm.
want to start from step A to Z, not Z to A, because Z is always going to bring you back to A. So sometimes, we just don't know what the beginning of the route looks like, and it looks like the education and the support and the resources of MTM.U. So I'm not telling anybody a dollar amount because I don't want y'all in the market from day one. If anything, if you feel the need to get in the market and get your feet wet, I would say that you can go on pocketoption.com and you can just start a demo account and just trade with the play money on there, but
Mm-hmm.
don't load any real money. One of the greatest values of money is learning how to respect your money,
Mm-hmm.
how to protect your money, and then how to grow your money. A lot of us work hard for this money.
Right.
To really get to wealth, we have to gain a relationship and a full understanding and psychology of what that money is and how to utilize that money to then grow that money.
Right. And I like how you say, starting from A to Z instead of Z to A. And that's how a lot of us do because we get on the hype of listening what other people tell us. And I met a gentleman that actually got into trading and put a lot of money into it. And but he was learning along the way.
Right.
So I know he made a lot of mistakes in trading, but he was doing the long term, but just making a lot of mistakes and it cost him.
Right.
So it's cost and I don't know, maybe he's kind of like deterred away from trading because of it. But it's those
Right.
type of situations that occur that it's better for you to start from A to Z, and this is how we can do it.
Exactly. Like our traders here at MTM.U, I don't even put them in the market from day one.
Mm-hmm.
From their freshman semester, I have them just dealing with the basics, the psychology of money and trading mindset,
Mm-hmm.
and just watching other traders profit in the market. Because we have traders on every different level, I deem it necessary for them to just watch us and just kind of get into the feel of what it's going to be like once they really start trading. Next semester, sophomore semester, then they start doing some demo trading.
Mm-hmm.
But you never want to put traders right into the market from day one. They're not ready yet. They're not ready yet. We're a generation, we're a culture of people that have exhausted a lot of resources, a lot of capital frivolously
Mm-hmm.
throughout our lives, if we're being honest with ourselves. So we have to get out of that mentality and prepare ourselves to operate with our money moving forward the right way so that we put ourselves in the best situation to be able to maximize.
Okay. So more than money, speaking on this gentleman. So I mean, obviously can't know the gentleman, but how would you have benefited him if he would have came to you first
Well,
in the universe and being a part of the university?
we would have had a couple conversations where I would have been able to assess certain things about his character. So we operate from an app where we have video chats throughout the day. And me and other mentors, we're trained to assess certain things or pick up on certain traits from a person's personality
Okay.
because we know that this is what we're going to be dealing with as far as getting them to mastery. So many people focus on technical analysis, which is basically understanding what you're seeing on the screen, but that's really the easy part. Risk management, how to operate with your money from a percentage standpoint to grow your money in the market. That becomes pretty basic.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to know specifically who we're dealing with because there may be some layers that this
Okay.
person is dealing with that we'll have to lift up
Mm-hmm.
to get to, a specific type of person that we then push forward. But we
Okay.
can't move forward if there's certain problematic layers with this person. So we have to identify those layers,
Mm-hmm.
point those things out, and have some conversations about those things and how they're going to be able to affect you positively or negatively from within the market before we put you in the market. So with this guy, we would have been able to definitely save him a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
That money that he lost in the market, he would have eventually down the line got into the money, got into the market with that money or more money, because along the journey, while we're pushing traders to the point to where they get into the live market, we're also encouraging traders to put money aside, to save up that nest egg, so that when we get them to the point to where they're ready to start multiplying their money in the market, they have a nice little nest egg built up that they
Okay.
can now strategically grow in the market through compounding.
Okay. So remind me of that dollar amount, like the minimum that you should be in the market.
The minimum dollar amount is zero if you don't know what you're doing.
Really?
If
Just
you
coming
don't
with
know what you're
education.
doing, if you don't know what you're doing, if anything, get with MTM.University or just demo trade with no money at all, with no money. Now, once you know what you're doing, the minimum, let's say on the broker that we trade is like, I think like $100.
Okay.
That's like the minimum that you can get in the market with. But I still don't even suggest that for people that don't know what they're doing because ultimately you're just gambling.
Right.
We're not a casino. This is not a casino. This is not sports betting. This is trading. We're either going to do it the right way or do it the wrong way and get a bad taste in our mouths.
Right. You keep throwing shade on my casino though. I
No,
don't know if I
look.
like that. Yeah, craps, I like it. It's the only game I play though. It's the only
Okay,
game.
we're gonna bring
it's
you on over.
it's the same thing though, because honestly, when I first got approached or started learning the game of craps, like I enjoyed it because I felt like it was something that you may control better.
Right.
You can have a better options of controlling it. So once you understand the game, you start making better decisions. So I started learning what kind of board I'm playing on. So
Right.
In comparing the two, like I understand because I started, like I said, I started understanding what kind of board I'm on, what kind of bets I can start doing.
Right.
What does the pass line mean? Those different things. So as I started learning, I taught my brother.
Right.
And we just had a situation where as I was teaching him and I felt confident because I kept doing it, I made money that day and he did too because he was following my lead. And he started was like, oh, okay, I get that. I
Right.
get that. But it takes time. You got to learn it.
Right.
So,
And that's the thing that we're about. Like, I want to tell traders, especially beginner traders, like you can jump in the market right now and have a lucky day.
mhm.
You can have a lucky week. And it can make you believe that you can really do this. And what you're really doing is you're playing into the broker's hands. Because as traders, we do this lifelong. We do this long term.
Right.
I don't work a job. This is what I do because I know what I'm doing. And it's a strategic method of going about it.
All right, so I know one main thing that you harp on that MTM.U offers is mindset shift,
Yes.
changing the way you think. What else could an investor expect in your university?
Great question. So, the pillars of MTM University is definitely the education. The education is mindset, the basics, different levels of technical analysis, and different levels of mindset as well, and risk management. And our lessons on the university, they're not long and boring. Look, I get it. Nobody wants to go back to school. Life is life and for people, so we keep it short and simple. The lessons on the university are maybe like 5 to 8 minutes. I tell our students to just go over one lesson a day, take notes, ask questions if you have them. We have what we call the Ultimate Trading Playbook. That will be considered like a digital trading journal. That's for once you start doing your demo trading to your actual trading to stay on point, to keep some data. It's very simple. It's going to keep you on point, and it's something for you to work along with your mentor on as far as you just improving each and every day. We have mentorship as well too. Somebody's gonna coach you up day to day through it and make sure that you're on point and make sure that we deliver on what you paid for here. And also we have our everyday community, which we operate off of an app called Marco Polo, where we drop video messages throughout the day, Certain traders drop questions in there that they have, and everybody answers those questions. We're always dropping, withdrawals that are made from profits in the market, trades that were won in the market, trades that we may have taken a lesson on. We don't call them losses; we just call them lessons because we learn from them, we move forward, and we become better because of it. Um, and we just celebrate each other on the app. We celebrate each other on the app. We have a lot of conversations on the app that tie in life and trading each and every day. So it's a mastermind. It's an experience. It's not just trading. It's not just money. It's about much more than just the money.
Okay, so I hear you say mentorship. So from my ears, I'm hearing it's not going to just be you. I'm not going to be hearing and learning only from you.
Right. So these are other traders that I trained up throughout the years.
Okay.
That was a big thing for me in my early stages. I said, 'cause everybody was jumping out here with these courses in community. But I have my own standards in life that I was raised on by my parents. And it was like, one of them was like, hold up. You can't get out here and provide something to the people unless you proved that you can train a person up from regular world to profitable trader. So I started training traders up, and luckily, magically, those same traders are now mentors from within the university.
Okay.
So since they came up right under me, and I trust, how they operate from within the market, now they are some of the mentors here on MTM University.
Okay. I like that. What they say, each one, teach one.
Come on now. Come on now. If you can't create them, don't be out here trying to teach it now. Come on now. Look, that's what I would question and challenge everybody. What has what have you produced? Because it's one thing to say you can get out here and do it, but what have you produced? Show me the traders that you have produced that can self-sustain on their own, and then we can talk.
Okay. So what's next? What's next for MTM.U?
Great question. Great question. So the main thing is just continuously getting the word out, just like this interview right here. So we're tackling every financial avenue out there in the world, but also getting into the local schools, and then getting into schools around the country. This needs to be a part of the curriculum. We weren't taught this. That day is over. This new generation needs to be taught money. They need to be taught trading from the youngest of ages, not when we're in our 20s and 30s and 40s. I mean, it's okay to be taught in your 20s and 30s and 40s, but why not be taught, at your youngest of age? So we're working on getting into the schools. We'll probably start off as an extracurricular or a after school program, but we're going to keep working our ways into the schools because we know that school officials will find this to be important, and parents will find this to be important as well to, like I say, put our children on a better trajectory than what we were put on.
Right. Generational wealth, generational mindset shifts. I mean, I like that because I agree with you. And this is not something we were learned or taught in school. So how can we be better adults if we don't even know how to be adults?
Right.
So Yeah, so learning these aspects and these concepts and mindsets at a young age will definitely let us be better humans when we become adults. So we can keep passing that on and create better generations and generations from here on out.
Right,
So
right.
I agree. So let people know how we can find you, how they can get in touch with you. Is there a cost to MTM? Like, how can we start it?
All right, so you guys can definitely check us out over at mtm.university on YouTube. We're on all streaming services as well, Spotify, Apple Podcasts at mtm.university. We're also on all social media platforms. You can find me specifically at professor.anyae, that's ANYAE dot pocket option. Let me see, or mtm.university. We have a variation of pages throughout social media. And when we talk about YouTube and the streaming services, that's most of that is free content, for the beginner trader that just wants to know what trading looks like, what the journey looks like. Here at mtm.university, our premium subscription right now is at 1600. That's total. That takes care of everything. Or you can do a month-to-month subscription, which starts off at $139 for the first month. Every month after $99.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So just to wrap it up, like,
And let
go
me
ahead.
say this before
Go
we
ahead.
continue on. Always remember that this is trading. So the money that you put in to learn, you're gonna make that money back.
Mhm.
And so on and so on and so forth. So just wanted to add that.
Okay. So as a takeaway, what do you say is the most important thing about trading is?
Okay, great question. I would say the most important thing about trading would have to be the journey that it takes you on. Again, with me, I thought I was just coming for the money. I thought I was just learning how to master trading, but I became a better father through this journey. I became a better husband through this journey. My spirituality went through the roof. My relationship with God went through the roof. And to my early traders out there, you guys definitely know what I'm talking about when you get in the market and because you're gonna do a lot of praying. You're gonna do a lot of
Please, please,
you got a
please.
$500 trade on the line. You got a $900 trade. You're gonna do
Right.
some. It's gonna strengthen your relationship with God.
Mhm.
I've become better in my community. I have much more time. I'm actually getting to live. You know, if this was 6 years ago, I wouldn't even be able to do this right now because I would have been at work. Never
Mhm.
knocking anybody's job. If you like your job, I love it for you. But I yearn for freedom and more time and to become my best self. This journey catapulted me into entrepreneurship, which I
Mhm.
also wanted to teach my children, which my children are entrepreneurs now as well.
Awesome.
My children know how to trade as well. So I've been able to give them the skill set as well. So, man, it's opened up a whole world for me, not just the money. It's opened up a whole world. So I always tell people allow trading to be your vehicle
Mhm.
into the world that you need. You know, you may want to act and you may need more time and you may need more funding for that. Allow trading to be that for you. You may want to be a musician, but you may need more time and funding for that. Let trading be that for you.
Right.
You may want to get into real estate or whatnot. Allow trading to give you that time and to give you that extra capital that you need. So allow trading to be that vehicle for who you're trying to be and what you're trying to accomplish in this thing called life.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, it was a pleasure, everyone. I appreciate you taking time and watching this and listening to King here over here talking about trading. And I hope you take something from it and you actually spend some time. Reach out to him. Reach out to him. Just reach out. Like get all the information that you need to know to how you get started in trading so you can be the better version of you when it comes to trading. So again, it was a pleasure. I'm glad you took the time to spend with me today, and let's take it. Let's take it to the next level.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, Queen. Thank you.
You're welcome.